Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the second episode of the Master's Talk. Since it's like fall season again, I thought it is a good time to discuss about the universities in general. Today's episode is mainly for anyone who is feeling unsure after getting an admit, too many prerequisites, wrong major, or a college that looks good only on paper. Let's discuss. Before we start the video, a little something about myself. I've completed my master's from San Jose State University in the year 2022 December, and ever since I've been working as a software developer. I have opted for the major called computer engineering, and because I have opted computer engineering and my bachelor's is from computer science, I had to take three prerequisites. If you want to complete your master's in San Jose State, you have to complete like 11 subjects altogether, and you can only take like a minimum of 3 subjects and a maximum of 4 subjects every semester. And because of having three prerequisites, it was kind of hard for me compared to my peers to complete my master's in just a tenure of 2 years. So why did I still choose San Jose State University? Let's discuss. So the question we'll be exactly talking about is, should I defer my admit to a particular university if I have too many prerequisites? I think two is too many. Two or three is too many. If it is one, you shouldn't really much bother about that prerequisite unless it's like a very hard prerequisite with like, I don't know, super tough professor. Otherwise, I would just go with it. So two or three. I think three is the most prerequisites you generally tend to have. These are the three main factors that you should be considering to decide whether you should opt to that particular university because of the three prerequisites or not. The first one, the time. In my scenario, I had to take 11 courses altogether. So along with this three prerequisite, that makes it 14 courses. Will I be able to complete these 14 courses in a tenure of 2 years? That will be a 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3. Generally, how my peers would generally take it is like in the second or the third semester, they would opt more subjects, and they would generally try to keep only the final project for the last semester, because that's when you'll be looking for your full times or internships and etc, right? So the second half of your masters, you don't want to be doing your masters, you want to be concentrating more on the internship and the job offers, right? So you would want to complete most of your subjects in the first half. But then again, the very first semester that you come here, the previous curriculums like during our bachelor's also is like pretty different from our master's curriculum, right? And also some people will be opting things like the part times, like new roommates, just a whole new country, getting used to the whole vibe of the USA. It will take a good few months in general, so you would want to get used to the place. So I wouldn't recommend taking a lot of subjects or like very hard subjects in the first semester. Also, your cumulative GPA, right, it will be carrying on. This is one little something that a lot of people who are coming new to USA wouldn't know. Two consecutive semesters, for two consecutive semester, if you have less than 3 CGPA, like the cumulative GPA, you would generally tend to lose your scholarships and sometimes even get debarred. You might just think, I'm pretty smart, I can take care of the subjects, etc, etc, but the curriculum is kind of different, right? So getting used to the curriculum in general, I would say take it slow for the first semester. So the second and the third semesters are where you should be taking most of your hard subjects and more number of subjects. So yeah, just first and the last semesters that you'll be coming in here, just try to keep it chill. If I want to take the decision of completing my masters in 2 years, will I be able to with this prerequisites? So that is one important question to consider. And the second one, the money. Generally, another common accusation that we have is, if scholarships that we tend to get, right, they won't be considering the prerequisites. They won't involve the amount that you have to bear for the prerequisites. Even in your I-20, let's say $40,000 is what you have to pay for your whole curriculum, right? That's the only amount they'll be putting on your I-20. They won't be adding the extra prerequisite amount that you have to bear. Even though it is an undergrad course, it's kind of the amount you'll have to bear is similar to your master's course. So I would say an extra $3,000 to $5,000 per prerequisite. In the worst scenario, might end up being $15,000 extra, right? You do the math, and the money factor is something you should be considering. In my scenario, I had to personally bear an extra $9,000. I have done my three prerequisites in the very first semester, and none of them were graded. So I would just continue with no grade for the first semester, and then from the second semester, I'll just accumulate all my core subjects or the master subjects in general. And the final point that you should be considering is the internship impact. Everybody generally tends to get their internship during summer, right? There are also winter internships which are not much considered. In general, most of the people tend to get the summer internship. So to get the summer internship, let's say you are coming for fall, you have completed 2 semesters, right? If you have completed two semesters, they would expect 3 plus 3 6 units, or at least 5 units as a minimum for the internship. In that scenario, again, the prerequisites will not be counted. I think, if I remember it right, a minimum of 5 credits need to be completed for you to be, having an internship. That's like the minimum quota for you to get an internship, like at least interview for an internship. Like if you're coming for spring, like in my case, I came for spring. So because I came in January, I should not be applying for the internships in that summer, because it's only been a semester since I came. So if you're especially if you're coming for fall and you want, obviously you'll be able to opt internship opportunities for the coming summer, right? So make sure you have a minimum of 5 or 6 credits. It worked in my scenario because I have come in the month of January, like in the spring, and I was anyway not expecting myself to land a summer internship, because I should not, because I have not completed a minimum of 2 semesters, right? So it worked out for me. How I have approached my prerequisites was, it's just a pass or fail, right? So I don't have to put a lot into it. So I just thought of taking 4 subjects in the first semester. But the issue was, if you have a hard professor, it's pretty hard to get the mark up. So I'm not saying it in terms of like, oh, it's very hard, don't do it. It's like, because it's very hard, you have to give a certain amount of your time every day for that subject. It's like another hard subject that you have to prepare for. So considering that it's your first semester, do you still want to take all the 4 subjects? Always look for your professors on websites like Rate My Professor, who get the generic scenario of how the professor is, what he is expecting, and how well would he grade. These are the factors I would look into, especially if I am like overloaded with my courses. The next question that I'll be discussing is how to choose a university beyond ranking. The generic ranking that is given to a university is like depending on various factors which are not in the same prioritized order for you. It's like the rankings are good and all, but they don't give you the full story of a university. So, along with the generic rankings, here are 5 other factors that you can be considering while choosing the right university. The first one, the location. Considering a university which is like near a tech hub like the Bay Area or Austin or Seattle is better than going for universities kind of like rural, or I don't know, at places like Wisconsin, or I would not be going for that, because in the later scenario there won't be much job fairs, or like even not many part-time work opportunities. So location is a very important factor. The second factor that you should be considering is the cost of living. Places like Los Angeles, New York, these are pretty fun, exciting, very socially active places, but then it could be pretty expensive. The third factor you should be considering, which is rather important, is like the internship history of that particular university. What percentage of the alumni in your university were able to land themselves into like an ECPT or OPT opportunities? In general, the internship opportunities. So how do I get this information, whether they got it or not? Just, you should be pretty proactive about it. Go online, go on LinkedIn or like other career related websites, and just be proactively asking them about the opportunities in the university and out of the universities in general, how they were able to pay their expenses, take care of their loan. Like, just be proactive. And I think more than half of the people out there who are like your alumni would be interested to answer your questions, as long as you don't prolongate the questions. So yeah, just be pretty proactive about it. Another factor that you should be considering is the curriculum. The course that you are taking in your university, is it like project heavy or research heavy, or is it more theoretical? Considering a curriculum which is more project heavy and is like more real time is pretty helpful with the industrial experience in terms of the jobs. Yeah, that's one factor you should be looking into. And the final factor you should be considering along with the rankings is like the assistantships and the scholarships in general. A lot of universities tend to give off students a good amount of scholarships like $2,000 to $5,000. Again, you should be proactive about applying for the scholarships, and then even if you get the scholarship, maintaining a good CGPA more than 3, and in some scenarios more than 3.3 or more than 3.5 out of 4, without which you might even lose your scholarship. In some universities, about 70 to 80% of the master students tend to get their TARA opportunities. So those are the universities I would be looking more into. If you could land yourself into a teaching assistantship, then you can waive off one subject fee for good along with getting your salary. Like for example, how do I explain it? Let's say you get an hourly pay of $16 for a part-time job, but then if you do a teaching assistantship, you'll be paid about $16 to $18, and in some people's scenarios you might even be paid up to $21, along with a fee waiver of up to one subject. Scenario where you could get a teaching assistantship with a subject fee waiver, there you are saving at least $3,000 to $4,000. Like, you are not paying out of your pocket, right? So but still in the scenario you'll still be paid, so it's a pretty good opportunity to have. But then depending upon the universities, the number of TA and RA opportunities tend to like go up and down, so make sure you look into it. All in all, the location and the internship and the TA RA opportunities are more important than general ranking to consider. Like, if you are to prioritize in between them, what's better? Yeah, that's my take. The next question is, can I change majors or switch tracks after joining? So this is kind of one common question everybody tends to have. After coming here, decide like more than data science, maybe I should consider branches like artificial intelligence, or like changing from, I don't know, branches like embedded systems to more generic branch like computer engineering. So if you are like trying to do a branch shift, so can you or can you not do it after joining? It mainly depends on from what branch are you trying to move to what branch. If you are like trying to move from data science to artificial intelligence, it works. Data science to data analytics, let's consider a particular scenario where you are trying to move from, let's say, computer science to business analytics. In this scenario, because computer science is a course where you're like taking subjects like with CSS branch code, and for the business analytics it's like, I don't know, BA, etc. It's like a complete department shift, right? If you're like moving from computer engineering to software engineering or things like that, they kind of come under the same branch. But if you are trying to move from computer science to business analytics, that's a department shift. So that's where you have to take permission from both the departments, and sometimes you might even have to reapply. So second semester is where you should be considering the shift. Later you cannot do it. So there is this concept called electives, where you can take any subject. Like, in general, if the course is kind of like designed for the students, they tend to be like, you have few core subject, few this subject, few that subject, and in the electives you can kind of take anything as long as it is like a master subject. It's like, let's say you're a data analytics major and you want to do some computer science related, some theory course, so that is where the electives come in. You can do all the cross departmental courses. So in the first semester, whatever you have taken, right, once you have shifted the major, they generally tend to become the electives. But again, along with the permission from both the departments, you should also be having a good GPA, like a qualifying at least 3.5 plus GPA, in case you wanna like prove it to them, like, see, I can take care of my subject. And also, it's not because of the grade that I'm moving out of interest. So it's like that. If you are not sure about exactly what to do, just try to pick a flexible program. Like in our university, some branches like artificial intelligence, they are like more core coded. Like, out of the 11 subjects you have to take, 8 of them are like core. If they are core subjects, right, like you have to take those subjects. So 8 of those 11 subjects were already decided for you. But in case of branches like computer engineering, software engineering, you only have 3 core subjects, and you can design your program according to your wish. So take branches of that kind if you are still, contemplating on what to do and what not to do. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you have more questions of this kind, please don't forget to comment down in this video, and I'll look into the questions, and I will try to answer them in the next episode. I am realizing that more than my generic content, people who are especially like coming here for masters, etc., they are, proactively commenting about questions of this kind. And during the initial days of my me, doing this whole master's journey, even I kind of felt like it would be really nice to have a guide who would just, direct me in which way to go and in which way not to go. So I might not be a pro, but I'll try my level best to get the information that you're asking for, and I'll talk more about it. So thank you so much for watching, means a lot to me. Bye bye.